Thank you very much for tuning in to Ask the Ministers of God. Today we are talking about forgiveness. Yes, forgiveness is a loaded word and it's been tossed around the circles for a very long time. But do we really talk about the processes of forgiveness? Well, some can forgive at the drop of a dime, while others take a lot of time to forgive or need a lot of time to forgive. Well, it's all in the process, but how can we forgive if we don't understand what that forgiveness is, what the processes are, and who gets the benefits when they forgive? This and much more on Ask the Ministers of God. My name is Supa Waroy. I'm excited on this wonderful set to have a man of God and a doctor, a psychologist?
Yes.
Not psychiatrist.
Psychologist.
Psychologist.
Yes.
I've got to get that right. Yes, Daktari right here with us, and we'll be able to delve deeper into forgiveness. I know there are many out there who are struggling with different issues in their lives that they've been able to encounter during the journey of life. We've been hurt, we've been broken, we've been denied, we've had the worst of the worst things happen to us from the closest of our friends. In that circle of friends, you get betrayed. So today, hold on there. For the next 30 minutes, your life will be changing and you'll be learning just how to forgive. Don't touch that dial. We've got to introduce the guest right here. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
We begin from our extreme left.
Thank you. So thank you so much, Supa, for this wonderful invitation. My name is Alex Maina. I am a pastor of the Deliverance Church in Kiamunyi here in Nakuru. I am also married to Patricia. We are blessed with 4 kids, and I'm excited, especially when we are here talking about forgiveness.
Karibu sana, Pastor Alex.
Asante.
And my name is Doctor. I don't want to forget like last time.
Yes, please.
Dr. Elizabeth Wangare. I'm a clinical psychologist by profession, and I'm happy to be here to discuss this. This is a very, can I say, timely topic.
Especially with everything that is happening in our nation.
Yes.
It's very timely.
Yes.
And why would you say that? Maybe just to begin from there as we begin by defining forgiveness.
Given the very many things that have happened, the uncertainty of a lot of things. You see, first let's start from the fact that this thing caught us off guard and suddenly we were forced to start adhering to certain rules that have disrupted our lives. Sindio? Kwa hivyo utakuta there are people who are mad and angry at the government. You know, they are having a lot of pain, you know, towards the government. And then you find also, for example, maybe with some people, right now you're being forced to spend a lot of time with your family.
During this COVID-19 season. Yes.
And while before it was very easy for you, if kama kuna kitu haupendelei kwa hiyo nyumba, kukimbia.
So where do you run to when there are curfews? And our policemen are not joking with curfew. Yes, it's a timely topic, and that's why we begin by defining forgiveness, Pastor. Yes. We need to understand msamaha ni nini?
Surely, forgiveness inaweza kuwa na different definitions. But me, I would settle for one, whereby forgiveness is where a victim undergoes a process of letting the feelings go away, feelings that were caused by somebody who offended them, the feelings of revenge, the feelings of hatred, and with that willingness to wishing even the offender well. So to go for that kind of a general description.
Wow.
Of forgiveness.
I hope we are together on that one. And Pastor, unasema about even wishing the offender well.
Yes.
And we have to understand that in the scenario of forgiveness, there is the offender, the offended, and now there is the process of forgiveness. Yes. That the offended has to walk the journey of forgiveness.
Yes.
And saying that you have to wish them well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Daktari, wait, what am I going through when someone offends me first? What am I feeling?
A lot of things. The first thing, of course, it's that, you know, there's when someone does something that is offensive, you are not expecting it, sindio? So your body haiko tayari, you know, like if it's something you've been through. For example, let's talk about mlikuwa rafiki na mtu. So akili yako imejiset, this is my friend.
And what do we expect from friendship?
What do I expect from friendship? And then somebody does something to betray that friendship. You never saw that coming because the frequency you were on, I expect this person will be loyal, I expect this person will do certain things for me, I expect I can count on this person. So when they go against any one of those things, you are not expecting that. So as a result of that, heart comes into place. And with that heart, of course, your mind also goes to another place. Anger, revenge, unaona, bitterness, resentment. I want this person. You see, all these things are taking place because it's something that you didn't expect to happen. So you see, and because of that, then comes in that whole thing. I don't want anything to do with this person.
And I wish they would die. I wish, wagongwe na gari. I wish all the worst for them.
Kabisa. Kabisa.
And Pastor, I cannot let you go of the first part of this session without sharing with us a very, very powerful testimony on forgiveness. Kindly, just with a lot of gusto, share it.
Yeah, maybe there's a time I was sharing with a bishop friend of mine. The topic was forgiveness, and he gave me a story of a real life situation that happened to this family. So the family was a pastor's family. So and the wife, they had a conflict at home, so the wife had to leave. So the wife left, and when she left, she got married.
Did they have any children?
They had 3 children. She left the kids with the husband.
Who is a pastor?
Who is a pastor. And definitely she left and she went and got married once, twice, thrice. And she got 3 more kids.
My goodness.
And then for whatever reason, she could not keep those other husbands. So she went into this place of despair and hopelessness. She got into drunkenness. She even became a drug peddler. So she used to sell drugs, the pastor's wife. So, and that definitely did a lot of harm to the ministry, to the pastor as a person, and that's not a good thing. So one day, this ex-wife got arrested by the police in an issue to do with the drugs. And they were trying to try to see how they can help themselves out of the situation. It was a very serious case. And the wife was privy to the information that the judge is going to fine them amounting to maybe in Kenyan's amount like 500,000, 500,000 shillings, or jail her for 30 years. So she knew the only thing she can afford maybe was the life sentence because she didn't have the money. So she thought of calling the husband, and that's like 6 to 9 years down the line. She calls the husband in one evening, and she tells the husband.
Now the pastor,
yeah, she has been away, 3 marriages, 3 more kids, all that. Then one day she calls the husband.
Because now she's desperate.
She's desperate. Definitely, she's desperate. And she tells the husband, I'm calling you so that you can tell my kids goodbye. Because where I'm going, I will never come back. I'm going to be jailed for 30 years. So the husband inquires about the case, and she tells the husband the case. And then the husband akamuuliza, is there any other option? Kasema the other option, there is another option, but I cannot afford it because I have to pay a fine of 500,000 shillings. So the husband tells the wife, I will pay that for you. So and then akamuuliza kesi itakuwa wapi?
That's 6 years later, 3 marriages, 3 children.
Yes.
Pastor, let's imagine, but just because he's a good pastor, I don't want to imagine anything would go beyond that.
But it's kind of maybe trying to explain, to tell us that forgiveness is very possible.
Yes.
These are practical situations, a little situation, real life situation. So then the husband akauliza where the case will be, akaambiwa. At fast forward, cutting the long story short, after the judge ali passed his verdict, the pastor had sent somebody to pay the fine. So fine ikalipa 500,000. So the wife was free, and now she was wherever she was staying in. So she thought of maybe calling the husband, maybe to say thank you or something. So akampigia simu akamwambia, I'm calling you. I did not expect you to do that for me based on what I did to the family, to your name, to the ministry. I have really done the worst, but you have done to me the best. So the husband akamwambia, I had to do that because you are my wife. And then mama akastuka. I was like, yeah, am I still your wife? Kasema, yes, you're still my wife. I've never been married after you left. So legally, you're still my wife. Wow. So the wife akauliza, so can I come back? So the bishop, and God bless that man of God, he said, yes, you can come back. This is your home. You can come back anytime you want. So the wife akamwambia aje, so should we call other bishops, our relatives, and we do a discussion on this? So the husband akamwambia, when I got married to you, we were only 2 of us.
Wow.
So if there's going to be any kind of reconciliation, it will take 2 of us. So if you want to come back, come, we talk 2 of us and see the way forward.
Wow.
So the wife came back, they talked, 2 of them. So the bishop was giving me the story. Alituambia kwamba they were just quiet because they couldn't believe when they saw that lady in church, walking into church with the husband. So they called the husband, they akamwambia, hey, what happened? So mama came back, did you talk about it? The husband said, marriage is between 2 people and we solved our issues between 2 of us and this is my wife and that is it.
I don't
now
need to
we are
involve
actually
you.
talking of about maybe 10 years down the line.
And
they are
are
still
they
together.
And happily?
Happily married.
Wow.
Forgiveness is possible.
Forgiveness is possible. A
Yes.
very, very powerful story there, Pastor Alex, and you're sharing with us about a true life experience.
Yes.
And that is just to awaken our senses to the fact that we can forgive.
Yes, we can.
Dr. Ari, what's the process? Someone has hurt me. That's my friend. That's my partner. That is whoever it is. What is the process?
Let me say this. Just listening to Pastor Alex give that story, I think one of the key things to remember is all of us have gone through certain life experiences and they shape who we are. And part of that, part of how we conceptualize even how someone does something wrong to us and how we decide to interpret that is informed by our own personal experience. So for example, if maybe growing up, I used to be told I'm not good enough or I can't get anything right and so on. So I internalized that to mean that I am not good enough. And I never find a way to heal from that and find myself and realize, no, it doesn't matter what your opinion is of me. I can get to choose how to be. If I don't get away from that, guess what? If anybody does something that injures me, I will interpret it with that eyes of, oh, so you think I'm not good enough. You think I am not worthy of your respect and so on and so forth. So you see how our experiences shape the way we interpret certain situations. And that also is what will inform us. When somebody wrongs us, do I choose to let it go? Or do I choose to hold on to it and let it also control me? And you know what it will do? The next time someone wrongs me, it will not just be about that event. I will use all these things zenye pile up kufika to
Probably in your childhood, in your work experience.
Of course, all that. And so that is why you see that if I am going to learn to forgive, I need to take stock where or what is it or how am I interpreting this situation? And the way I'm interpreting it, where did I get those lenses to interpret that situation? Yeah, and you go back, my childhood.
So if I'm very bitter, if I feel wronged, I should go back and say,
Kabisa.
could it be the amount of bitterness that may not amount even to what was done to?
Exactly.
Imetoka hapa. Probably the bishop, there's a place he had reached with God, with himself, that is able to forgive. So a different person will not be able to take that. If you've piled up bitterness, you've had a lot of bad experiences, you've not learned to let go, you've not accepted it, and it, very, very important. Pastor, so having shared that and listening to Dr. Ari, that you need to take stock of where you've come from and what has happened to you. Hata mimi naona nimejifunza sasa maneno mazito. Don't joke with me on this show. God is changing my level.
So I think Dr. Ari is talking about self-awareness, whereby you have to be aware of
That's
yourself.
That's the word.
And somebody said that forgiveness is an attribute for the strong. So for you to be able to forgive,
powerful.
you have to be personally strong, emotionally strong. Even maybe somebody who has very strong and good relationships, maybe when they were growing up, they quickly forgive. So forgiveness has a lot to do with you and with your experiences, as Dr. Ali has said, more than with the issue that is at hand. So maybe what I would really maybe ask somebody who is having an issue with forgiveness is first of all to do a self-awareness test and check on themselves. Why do I get angry? The reason why I get angry. Why do I take things overboard? Maybe they're not as big as they look to me. Maybe there's some hurting thing in my life that is causing me to see things the way they are. If somebody was abused as a kid,
Yes.
definitely they will have a very hard time to forgive. Bitter people are not going to forgive easily. So, and that's why maybe sometimes when you do a self-analysis and awareness and you make yourself strong, you discover it is easy for you to forgive the other person. That said, because the bishop forgave and reconciled, we are not saying that forgiveness leads to reconciliation. That's not what we are saying. It
Neither are we saying that forgiveness is an event.
No.
Yeah, forgiveness is a process.
Yes.
It's a process. And sometimes it can take years and years, whereby you're going internally yourself to make yourself strong to be able to handle that kind of forgiveness and be able to release. Because forgiveness has a lot to do with the releasing. If you have not released, you have not forgiven. If you're still thinking about it, if it's still painful when you remember the name of that person,
the archives and dig it up.
then you have not really forgiven. So it's a process. It does not mean reconciliation. It doesn't mean that that person needs to be your friend one more time. It doesn't mean that you have to live in the same house one more time. Forgiveness is about you. It's not even about the relationship you had with that person. So maybe those are some of the things we need to
tackle.
Yes.
We'll be right back after the break. We are talking forgiveness. We are talking about the process. When we come back, we need to understand what are the steps. They talked about being self-aware, and we want to understand about acceptance. We need to understand about reconciliation with yourself first, and much more. Don't touch that dial.